It's a crazy world, cave dwellers, between this Cybertruck attack and yesterday, New Orleans, and this is crazy, man.
We have new video just in of a Tesla Cybertruck that police say was intentionally detonated outside of the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas. This is, as of this morning, being investigated as a possible act of terrorism.
That's that lithium-ion battery.
As of right now, our number one goal is to ensure that we have the proper identification of the subject involved in this incident. Following that, our second objective is to determine whether this was an act of terrorism or not. I know everybody's interested in that word and trying to see if we can say, hey, this is a terrorist attack. That is our goal, and that's what we're trying to do.
All right, CNN Chief Law Enforcement and Intelligence Analyst John Miller is with us. CNN Law Enforcement Analyst and former Secret Service agent Jonathan Wackrow is with us. We're going to dig into a lot of different things right now. John, first, just what's the latest on the Las Vegas investigation?
Well, the Las Vegas investigation is taking an interesting turn as they get deeper into the profile of the individual who rented the vehicle. Now, let's go full stop here for a second. They believe they know who rented the vehicle.
Is another rented vehicle? Because the New Orleans, the Bourbon Street terrorist attack, he also rented his off of Toro, and he had an Airbnb. So is this another rental?
But they are not 100% certain that that is the person who's in the vehicle, because that body, because it's badly burned, has not been identified. But the renter, like the New Orleans suspect, is military background, but not former military. He's active duty military with 19 years plus of service, and he's part of Special Forces Command. He is highly trained in communications, electronic measures for bomb detections, intelligence operations. He would be one of the most sophisticated in terms of training people in the Green Beret.
Okay, just so we're talking about these two different things.
That was all fuel to do this. So this don't look like a mistake. He had all that in there. Either somebody took him out or he was... But it wasn't even in New Orleans. He knew there was be a bunch of people here. This is just in front of Trump Tower. Probably it's like the middle of the evening or the night or something. It wasn't that many people out there. This seemed like more of a statement or something to get your head away from what's really going on.
The similarities are both rental electric vehicles from this Turo place, both military backgrounds, explosives in both trucks. Both attacks happened on New Year's in tourist locations.
That's right. And that is why they say we can't eliminate the possibility that they're connected. And yet, if you look at New Orleans, where he does 5 recordings apparently in the dark as he's driving, towards Louisiana from Texas, he's talking about family problems, financial problems, his life coming apart at the seams, and that he's joined ISIS, and that's why he's doing this. If you look at Las Vegas, so far, it appears that they don't have communications or a clear motive from the individual who's in that truck.
All right, so Jonathan Wackrow, right now we have warrants being executed in New Orleans at Airbnbs, in Houston at the home of the New Orleans attacker, I guess in Colorado at the home of the person tied to the rental vehicle in the Las Vegas attack. We're 24 hours in. What's taking so long here in this search process?
Well, the search process needs...
He just said it's 24 hours. What's taking so long in the search? Come on, we ain't that advanced. Come on, 24 hours is a long time to investigate 2 different people for terrorist attack. Come on, they're getting dismissed. That's not a long time. Come on.
It's to operate in different phases. One, you have to actually go to the court to get those warrants themselves.
Yeah.
You have to swear out in front of a magistrate and make sure that the legal process and the legal justification for going into these locations is validated. From there, it's not like what you see on television where the police just rush in and look for items of evidentiary value. What they actually have to do is, because we have explosives that are involved here, you have to first make sure and focus on officer safety and scene safety. So what's going on is explosive technicians are going into these sites first, not looking for items of evidentiary value, but ensuring that there's no primary explosives, that there are no booby traps, that it is safe for the investigators to go in. And then,
if you're thinking that he planned this all out and it took them weeks to do this and rent the car and blah, 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 then it's not it's not crazy or out of the world to think that maybe they say, hey, they're going to trace back to where I rented this vehicle in that Airbnb. FBI going to raid this place. Let me set up a bunch of booby traps so when they open this dresser, this whole place go up in smoke. he killed some people from the dead. You can't eliminate that. Somebody willing to drive up on the sidewalk, kill over 15 people, kids, women, children. You can't. You got to take precautions.
Then conduct a very methodical search for everything that's on that warrant and anything that's within plain sight that is of evidentiary value that can be used to then piece together, to really find a motive and the intent for these different attacks.
And again, one of the things John Miller pointed out right there, in New Orleans, you do have this trail of radicalization. Mm-hmm. In Las Vegas, we don't even have a name yet, so we don't have anything like that just yet.
Yeah, we don't have a name, and we also, like, the targeting locations of both are different, right? Because one, you had a known event, you had, it is a target of opportunity, it's a soft target, where you knew from a targeting standpoint that if I launch an attack there, the likelihood of high casualties was going to be there. The secondary in Las Vegas is a different construct. Yeah. 9:40 on, or 8:40-ish on New Year's morning in Las Vegas.
That's a good point.
Not a lot of people there, so you're not really launching an attack. While it is an iconic site, it is a site because it is the former and
it's the Trump Hotel.
Trump Hotel. That there is significance there, but in terms of causing damage. And then the second part of that, and John and I were talking beforehand, is what we know potentially of the driver of the Cybertruck with the military background, using low-order explosives, basically gasoline and black powder pyrotechnics, is not going to give you the blast radius that you need and the overpressurization to cause damage to the building or damage to others nearby.
Also, something about the behavior of the truck beforehand, John, you were talking about?
Well, he gets into town, and there's a combination of things. License plate readers that track him through Las Vegas from the moment he enters town, but also from Tesla, every place he stopped driving from where he started in Colorado Springs to charge that vehicle till he gets to Las Vegas. So they've got a good timeline. He spends about an hour driving around the Strip. He stops at a motel along the way for a period of time, but an hour before the explosion, he enters that driveway with his vehicle and does a slow pass around past the valet people and everything. And you have to ask yourself, what's he doing? To Jonathan's point, is he saying, it's 7-something in the morning and there's not a lot of people here. I'm going to come back in an hour and see if there's a bigger crowd. Or is he just doing his reconnaissance as a military operator would, which is, who stops you where am I going to place this so the Elon Musk vehicle is going to be right under the Trump sign. We don't know what the symbolism that they were going for in this attack was, but I mean, they're looking at all of that. The idea that he drove through an hour beforehand is suggestive.
And it's the Tesla. You got Trump and Elon, like, the symbolism in that is crazy. Like, you got Trump, Elon, but it don't look like he wanted mass casualties. So, I don't know if it's good publicity for Toro. They say there's no such thing as bad publicity. And some people going like, what is Toro? What is Toro? I didn't know about that app. But I'm sure they don't want this, and they're going to have to, like, I mean, you can't put any more restraint. These are military. They were military members before these two men acted like this. Then they were veterans. One is active duty. They're upstanding gentlemen, business owners. You got a realtor on the one, a 19-year special forces veteran. Like, they were good people until they did this. So there was nothing Toro could have did to say, hey, yeah, these people, let's flag them. Don't let them rent this vehicle. And you could rent a vehicle. They could have went to Hertz or anywhere. That was just the most convenient place. You could went to Uber or whatever. It's the most convenient. They could have got a Uber Black and then kidnapped the person or killed him and took their car. Like, it's so many different ways. So you can't. I don't want nobody trying to blame it on Toro.
So we were 24 hours into this. I mean, almost literally in the Las Vegas thing, a little bit more in New Orleans. What do you think the next big piece of information will be, or what's reasonable to expect that we could learn soon?
Well, we're going to start getting information from these search warrants, right? And we're going to start understanding, from the localities of, both attackers, their residences in Houston and other locations, what can we garner from that, right? And I think, we have more information, more direction with the New Orleans attacker as opposed to Las Vegas right now. But that will change once we, identify the body, once we get these items of evidentiary value, we start piecing together, and trying to, figure out what is the motive here, what
Part of me wondered with the Cybertruck, like they said they got a video of him like in a vehicle park, and then it's the spark, and then boom. part of me wondered, like, did he mistakenly explode himself? Like, maybe he wanted to escape, or maybe he did escape and then they could have put art, man. You start watching TV in America, you be like, maybe they had a fake body in there, a cadaver, and it's just a setup. They wanted it to burn and look like somebody died, but they didn't. Who knows what happened? Who knows if it's the veteran? He could have rented that, and something could have happened to him, or somebody did something, and we sitting there blaming it on him, and he didn't even do it. But we gotta wait. It's crazy.
What is driving both of these attacks, and are they connected? You know, we have some threads here of connectivity.
Very strange.
But again, the way that these attacks were launched, to me, signals some sort of differentiator.
If they recruited these people online, they would have obtained martyrdom videos from one or both of them. We've got clues from the self-made videos from the New Orleans attacker, which tells us a lot. But nothing yet from the Las Vegas piece. But ISIS could come out with their own communique if they're connected that way, or we could see something completely different. I mean, as Jonathan points out, there's two critical factors here, which is who are they working for, if anybody? How were they recruited? The second factor is who else might have been involved. We're seeing signs of that in Las Vegas, in New Orleans. We're not seeing signs of that yet in Las Vegas.
I got to say, this was a great discussion.
Look at that, man. Look at all that in the back. That's like, really got like paint, like lye cans or something. I don't know what that is. But you have to work, like, my mind, it automatically go to Israel. Like, they know Trump about to take office. He's trying to end the war. So what better in America? It's like during 2001 when they had weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, they just want the oil and stuff, but they're going to tell us they had weapons of mass destruction, and we get mad and upset. Like, we got to go stop them and go overseas. We got to go to Iraq and finish this and get them and toppled Saddam's empire. And then it's like, oh, yeah, really, he was keeping control down there. He was the only thing keeping control. When they took Saddam out, it was like the straw that broke the camel back. Now, Iraq, that led to the creation of ISIS, basically, because it's you took the head off the snake and everybody, the body just wiggling and destroying everything around it. Now you have this attack, and it's like, oh, a Muslim thing, blah, blah, blah. Then you got to go back to Israel and like, oh, well, they kind of want to draw a divide so then they can say, hey, yeah, you know those people in Gaza, they're Muslims. Muslims are bad. Then maybe we don't care about that no more. Maybe the people in Gaza now suffer even worse genocide, and everybody go because now Americans are mad. Yeah, F those Muslims and F those and and then they put all Muslims together. Fear breeds fear and more fear, and when people scared, they're going to attack. The saying, you don't play with a scared dog. A scared dog will bite, and that's what they want. They want us in fear. There's always something. So you gotta either this is just two random different attacks. And it's just a coincidence that they both happened the same day, both rented stuff off the same app, used cars, had explosives in there. Maybe. I'm not a big believer of that much of a coincidence, but it's possible. I don't know what y'all think, Cave Dwellers. It's just something don't feel right about it. It don't feel right. It seems like somebody want to take our attention away from something, especially with him being Muslim randomly. It's just, oh, this is a Muslim guy from Texas and he drove down here. Why? You just got to ask why. And if something bigger happened, I'm going to search, look, see if other things have happened. What's happening in the Middle East? What happened, whatever. What are they trying to take our attention off of what's happening? Are they trying to get us mad and riled up so we just don't care anymore? It was only after years later, 9/11, we're like, yeah, maybe we did go a little too hard at them. Maybe they did have a little reason to be mad at America. We going over there stealing their oils, we're in their business, and yeah, maybe they did have a reason to say death to America. Like, maybe, maybe the people of Gaza did have a reason to, they stand in Gaza as a world largest open air prison. Maybe they did have a reason to rebel a little bit. Yeah, what they did, killing people like that, it's crazy. Oh, but everybody's military, because in Israel, everybody has to serve in the military. So then to them, everybody is like too much, not enough. Too much, not enough. Almost think of it like if Dr. King was sitting there on his marches and stuff, and they were sitting there getting attacked by dogs, water hoses, police officers, whatever, just walking peacefully. But if one of them would have struck the officer and they would have just rioted and fought it, then it would have been on the news. 1,000 black people marching in the street causes riots. So you don't. So what are they trying to take our attention from? And we know that one man's terrorist is another man's mortar. So what? These are American men. That the man in New Orleans was 42. That's old to become radicalized. At 42, usually it's like a 25-year-old, 30-year-old reading online in the forums. You 42, having some problems. They say he was 16,000 in debt. I'm like, this is America. That was good for an American. Only 16,000 in debt. Most Americans more than that in debt and with just by the cars. Forget credit cards and everything. So that don't seem like a reason to just kill everybody. Kill yourself. Maybe he killed himself for that. Okay, boom. But to do this and take everybody out with him, ruin hundreds of people's lives, change the future forever of hundreds of families. Yeah, I don't know. And for active duty military special forces, somebody who's been in it for over 19 years and they just snap. I don't know. God bless America and every other place on earth, though. Let me know what y'all think, Cave Dwellers.